Everybody, today on the Process Podcast Show, I got drummer Tony MCMILLAN, and to his right, he got his man Rev. He's going to be on the guitar. He's going to be shredding it up on the guitar today, and I'm super excited about this podcast, and we got a lot of things to talk about. You know, anytime I have a friend recommend somebody that has just musical talent and has like a lot of talent and just a soul, a heart to please God and to be able to play music, man. It's these guys right here, man. And I'm just so excited to have them on the Outlaw Jams. Yes!
Appreciate y'all. Behind the scenes too. This is really cool.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all coming out.
Greater appreciation.
I melted everything and then I took it and I put it on my grill, like on my smoker outside, and put it inside the smoker and just smoked it out. So a lot of this, I mean, burnt and charred and smoke stains is all from my smoke.
Once a year, we would like you all to come out here to Sylvester, Georgia, and this great compound that he has out here. And we're gonna all get together and do some networking. We're gonna do some jamming and everything else, and just fellowship and have a good time. We're gonna call it the Outlaw Jam. You saw it here first. This is the brainchild. We need all of you to come out and help us so we can get this thing moving, and that could be something we do once a year to, one, show our appreciation to the great man that's building these drums, and two, just to be able to network with each other and, you know, kind of help each other, you know, continue the journey on being great drummers and musicians.
Yeah, man.
I'm surprised.
Right. The great Rev.
Man, I didn't know what to think, man, when you started. First, introduce yourself, man.
Rev, I'm from Columbus, Georgia. Taught with Mac here for
He was my bass instructor. Don't let him fool you.
that too. Well, yeah, but taught in the same school together too. But nah, for a little bit there. Fellow biker friend. So lots to bond over with music and motorcycles.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how y'all met?
You know, did we meet at
Actually,
Harley?
it's weird because we ran into each other like 3 times and we didn't really formally meet until we started teaching together.
I see.
So it was weird. Everybody asked if we knew each other. Well, at least me. They're like, you know Rev, you play the drums, you know Rev. And I was like, I know he used to work here, but I never met him. And then I met him in passing when he came up one day. And next thing I know, I was like, yeah, you know, they're looking for a drummer at Columbus School of Music and Dance. And then the first person I seen was him. And I was like, man, I know you. He said the same thing. I know you too. And I was like, where do we know each other from? Harley.
So I feel like y'all got a passion for some music right now, blaring up, man. So tell me about it, man. What's going on, like musically wise?
That's the music guy. I'm more of, I don't know. I downplay it, but I'm more of a facilitator. Because I've been around like all these people and I guess God just put it in my heart, like, you know, there's a lot of guys around you that they just need someone to push them to like really see the gift that they got. And I even fell back for a while because I was having like personal issues, health issues, and decided I wanted to start working slowly back to the music. And God was like, nope, I got something specific for you to do. Assemble your crew. And I was like, I don't have one. And the first person on the list was Rev. So I was like, okay, this is going to be fun because Rev is very particular. So I'm blessed that he even came here because I was scared he wasn't going to come. But yeah, he was the first on the list. It was about 4 of us all together. And if I could get us all in the same place at time, it's going to be amazing. But the musical journey, like I became like, you know, last time I talked to you, I was doing more production and was in school and started more so writing. And then just a lot of people just kept pestering me about like, man, every time you go to these open jams, you go out there and you just get on the drums you played and you get up and leave. What's going on? Why don't you play? And I was like, there's no really place that I feel like really comfortable playing. And just me in my own space. So I was like, I got to get out of that and just get back to what I used to do. And that was just play wherever I played and get around guys that like push me to do something different. And God just has blessed me to be around guys that are just like super talented in what they do. And, you know, he just started pointing me in the right direction to certain people. And it's worked out so far. So
Yeah, man.
that's where I'm at now.
Heard that. Heard that. So, Rev, tell me about it, man. So, are you playing in a band right now?
I'm kind of a hired gun for whoever calls me. So lately, I mean, wintertime usually slows down things anyway. But I don't know, it's been interesting because I've been trying to change what I do with music. And I think recently I have decided, it seems like the bar scene for me is really just fading out. Like, I'm just not into it. I'm just not really into it. And that has a lot to do with my journey with the Lord. Like, this last year has been huge for me and my family. So, like, I pretty much only play right now at church. Like, I'm their rotational whatever. Like, so I told that when I got into the church, I was just like, if whatever you need, just let me know. Whoever's not there, just I'll fill in for them. And so sometimes I'll play drums, sometimes I'll play bass. Usually I'm playing keys or guitar. But it's nice. I like to be utilized in that way. I like to serve in that way. And music's where I very much connect with the Lord most. And so that's been a thing. And kind of seeing that has changed my, I think, outlook on what I'm trying to do with music. Because the bar scene, I don't know. I think I'm learning it's just not for me. Like, it was, and I was really good at it. I was very good at the party life, but it's just not, it's not what I do. Like, it's not my life with the Lord. Like, it doesn't, like, to me personally, it doesn't tell other people about Jesus and what I'm trying to do. And so I've had to kind of step back. And that's funny because we were just talking. I got a call for a gig that's tomorrow night. And I just don't know. Like, I haven't had a call for like a bar gig in a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I definitely think certain convictions are changing in that area. And so
as you grow into it, you kind of start to kind of see it. The willingness to be able to just do something that maybe I don't want to do. That's really a big kind of spiritual growth when you can really come over to the fact that it's like, you know what, I feel like I want to do it, but maybe I'm gonna hold back on this one and let God work. That's why when He shows up, you know, through our weaknesses.
Yeah, so I mean, I know some people might be able to do that and really stay strong for the Lord and be Jesus in the bar. I don't know if that's me right now. Like, you know, I don't know if that's me, you know, but so I'm just kind of like exploring now. So, you know, we've been talking a little bit and just like, I don't know, man. All I know is that what I want to do is I want to use the musical ability that I've been given. I want to use it for the Lord. I want to use it for ministry. I want to use it to reach people for the Lord. I want to reach them where they are. I want to write songs that resonate with people so that when they listen, they're like, man, me too. Like, that's like my story right now. I'm having trouble with this thing or this thing. Like, and it's not always happy and, you know, fun. Sometimes there's a lot of music music needs to be what it is. It's like, it's how you feel in the moment. It's what you're going through. Like, and that song might not have a good ending right now, but like, ultimately we are promised a good ending because of Christ. Like, so yeah, it's just been a journey, man. So Mac, he was like, oh, let's go out Sylvester and see what's up. I was like, all right, let's see what's up, man.
So that's particular in the Columbus, Georgia area.
Yeah, so that's where I've been playing a lot in the last couple
of years. So if
anybody
needs anybody, y'all heard him, man. This guy can play. I didn't realize it, man, but he come in here with a guitar, and I was just completely blown away by his playing style. And that's not even his core instrument. So that's what he was saying.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I've spent a lot of time playing in piano bars, funny enough, and so we talk about genre. You know, like, what's your genre? What's your style? What's your? Like, I don't have one. Like, Mac doesn't have one. Like, I like music, man. Now, I will say there's certain ones I'm not as keen on as others, maybe, but I've been playing country music all the last like year and a half, and I am not a country guy at all. I was a straight like metal kid, and then the people were like, "We need a country guitarist." And I was like, "Hey, just so you know, you're hiring a metal guitarist to play country music." And then the piano bar scene changed everything about like I don't have a style anymore. It's everything. It's like, what do you want to hear? What do you want to play?
Yeah.
Let's just do that. Like, you know. So I guess we'll just kind of see where it goes, but it's definitely interesting how things work and how I think the Lord orchestrates things and puts you with people.
He wants us to trust in him. Just trust in him. It's hard to do because we want to have it all figured out, but trust in him, man. That's what I've been kind of going through too. Just have full faith in him. He'll lead the path. The decision is too hard to make. I think decisions actually get easier the more you trust in them. We start second guessing what we already know is the truth, and then every time we do that, we knew what the answer was immediately. You know what to do. You don't. You have to really think about it, and it's just like a lot of times you're wrestling with the flesh. And yeah. But I tell you, man, just by the vibe that I've got off today, man, us jamming, dude, y'all were killing it, man. So have y'all practiced before a lot of that stuff?
Dude, I don't think we played together before.
Ever. Like, you'll probably get more out of us when he's playing the guitar and I'm playing the bass than what we just did now. And usually it's like we're going back and forth messing with each other because I'm no bass player by any means necessary. But like he's got me to the point where I can be comfortable.
Yeah.
So when he got up there and started playing the guitar, I was already comfortable because we played back and forth. So like I hear where he's going or he'll hear where I'm going and we just kind of look at each other and we'll look and okay, I think you're going here, and then we'll go and then, oh, that's not it. All right, we'll go back here. So I think it's just a comfort level of knowing each other as like friends and just having an idea of what we are accustomed to. I think that really helps us when playing, you know what I'm saying? And then we both kind of done it for a while and we've had to be out of, like they say, particularly specific genres to where it's like we get around each other. It's like, oh, he's going there. All right, cool. Or he's like, hey, Mac, do this. And then like, it's just, all right, I'm there. And then we have freedom with each other because I'm not locking him into anything and he's not even trying to lock me anything. We're just sitting there having fun and just seeing what we could create. So yeah, it's pretty fun. But that was the first time we played together.
Yeah, we've in the classroom setting, we played bass together a little bit. Like, but I mean, that's a lesson setting, not a like let's just jam.
Yeah.
So like this was like, all right, we're about to jam. I've never played with you before. Here we go. Which is
whatever
happens.
Like, yeah.
I don't know, but I know he's an incredibly competent musician. So I'm like, it's gonna be fun. Now I haven't jammed in a long time, so it's always like I don't even know what to like pull out here, but let's just go for it. I guess it's like so. You don't hear a key signature. You hear whatever key happens.
At the time,
with no bass player, we don't need a key signature. We're just gonna keep going.
Right. We just following each other. The ring around the rosy.
Yeah, man, it was good following you on this kit, man. It was all over the place. It was really cool to see you start messing around with the tuning while you were playing too, to match the sound that you were trying to go into. I thought it was kind of cool.
That was new to me. So, like I said, when I seen it on like Instagram and everything else, I was kind of skeptical because like I grew up in a church setting primarily, and then I've been on tours where you tune something and it sounds great until they say sound check. And then it's like, yo, man, that sounds horrible. And so you're like devastated because now you've wasted 30, 40 minutes tuning. And while we were playing, I was like, man, just imagine like if somebody's like, oh, that's flat. Okay, that's better. That took 2 minutes. I didn't waste any time. I didn't have to go back to the drawing board and tick off all the sound engineers. So that's why I just kept playing with it while I was playing. I was like, well, let me see if I could get out of tune and what it would sound like. And it just wasn't happening. Like every time we switched kind of to a different genre, I was like, okay, this is maybe too high. Let me like lower the tuning a little bit. And the floor time was the most fun. Cause like it was nothing I could do that really sounded terrible. So it's like let me go up 3 or 4 clicks. Let me go down 5. And then it just sounded really good. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to investing in because that's gonna save tons of time.
Yeah, because it tightens it up at the same time. It's the whole tension together. It pulls it all tight at the same time. So it does it's definitely unique, man. Speaking of cool gear, man, look, tell me about this guitar, dude. thing right here freaking sounds sick. Feels good too.
The
It kind of feel like that.
the Revocaster.
This is ridiculous. This thing's so
Right.
ridiculous.
That is crazy.
No, it's just, it literally is a Fender Squire that I took and literally melted with a creme brulee torch. And then you can see all the melted spots in here. I like relic stuff. I mean, this is, of course, an insanely heavy relic job. But I melted everything, and then I took it and I put it on my grill, like on my smoker outside, and put it inside the smoker and just smoked it out. So a lot of this, I mean, burnt and charred and smoke stains is all from my smoker, my big barrel smoker. I took my torch, burnt the knobs. I burnt the head a little bit. Funny enough, this was not the first neck I put it in. So I took this whole thing apart. I rewired everything, and I put another neck on it. And I had drilled out all of the fret markers and replaced them with 9mm shells that I had to cut down small enough to fit into the neck. I got most of them right and flush so that it didn't affect the playing, but as soon as I got up here, they were sticking out too high and it messed up my playability on the neck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so it didn't work. It looked really cool because I had all these shells
In line.
inside the neck as my fret markers. So I keep this one on my knob, but yeah, it did not work at the end. It ended up buzzing really bad. I couldn't fix it with the action. Yeah, so I ended up having to take that neck off. I ended up taking all the frets out of the other neck and made another guitar that was a fretless guitar with the shell still in it, and it was real weird. But this guitar, I ended up getting another maple neck, popping it in, burning the headstock out, and then, I mean, it's like a $90 guitar that I turned into something else. But I mean, it plays so well for what it is, and I could throw this across the street, and it would only make it better. I mean, it's a great guitar.
Don't even put it in a case, just throw it in the
No,
back of the truck.
I never put it in a case. It does the job. I play it. I mean, I'll play it at shows, but it's great. I mean, and it's great because I also don't care that much about it. Like, I'm willing to, like, if it drops, if it falls, if a kid takes it and breaks something, I'll just fix it and I'll get a new nut or whatever.
I was gonna say you're definitely well versed at fixing or creating guitars out of nothing.
Hey, what's one of the crazy experience you got playing the drums or on the stage while you're playing? Anything crazy happen?
Yes, I was on probably my 4th or 5th year playing the drums. I literally got chewed out by the MD for, like I said, messing up a sound check.
Nice.
And that was the most embarrassing, but it was funny because everybody else got a kick out of it but me. Like, I was offended. Like, I was really hurt. But like, everybody had to come and be like, man, it happens, bro. Like, you thought you were doing the right thing. You sat up there while everybody was getting all ready and you were tuning your drums. And the thing you didn't think about was to ask the sound guys exactly what the acoustics were for the room. So when the MD went off on me about wasting 30 minutes, like, I was super embarrassed. So it almost ruined me wanting to play that specific gig. But because everybody kind of rallied around me, was like, look, this is your first time doing it or whatever. Don't get mad. Just go sit with the sound techs. They'll help you out. They had a drum tech that came over, and he's really what taught me everything about, like, really what to look for when playing different, like, concert halls and everything else. And that was a learning experience. But I've never been so embarrassed as a grown man in my life, getting chewed out over an intercom. Like, do you not know how to do the drums? Like, aren't you the drummer? And I was like, yeah, I thought I was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Do it again. We'll come back in 30 minutes. So yeah, that was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. The funniest thing that's ever happened to me, I think I told this story before, the drum throwing broke on me.
Nice.
Yeah, that was terrible.
How'd you play? You stood up? You stand up?
Somebody happened to hook me up. They were in the area and they brought me like a raggedy drum throne. We reinforced it and it got me through the set. But yeah, like, I was all proud of it. It was one of those ones with the back on it and everything else. But little did I know, you got to do maintenance on your stuff. At the time, brand new drummers. So I sat on that mug and was rocking back and forth and the whole thing just shattered. So yeah, I was sitting there looking stupid, and luckily I had a buddy that was in the area that helped me out. But that was the funniest thing that happened because we were cracking up for hours because I fell all the way off the bandstand and like got up, jumped up, tried to brush myself off, and we all laughed. But yeah, that was probably the funniest thing that's ever happened to me.
So what's y'all's plan, man? What's y'all's plan? Y'all gonna start producing music? Y'all got some original stuff going, working?
I mean, I think between both of us, I think we both have a lot of stuff we can pull out. And this kind of thing, I mean, I was telling him on the way here, I was like, maybe this is going to push me to finally put it out there. Because I think we're both pretty protective of our stuff, like of our music. And I don't know why that is for me personally, but I don't know, it's almost like your baby. Like you write it, you make it.
It's personal stuff.
Yeah.
These are like, it's a personal, like you said, it's a language.
Yeah.
Intimate kind of deal.
Yes.
So do you sing?
I do, yeah. Funny enough, I mostly studied music in general, but focused on piano and voice in college for my degree. So what I prefer actually, or have preferred in the past, is just like solo gigs. Like I used to play on the street, just like set my PA up and just sing for like, I'd go for like 9 hours on the street, and that was just fun. Because people come up, you talk to people, you ask what they want to hear, and being like the dueling piano guy that I've been in the past, it's kind of trained me to know a lot of stuff. So, oh, you want to hear this song? Or like I did musical theater stuff in like college, so it's like, oh, we have theater people who just came. Like, what do you want to hear? Let's sing something. Like, just have a good time. But yeah, I definitely have a phone full or notebooks full of just songs that are just waiting to be done something with. But he downplays himself though when he talks about music. He said that himself, and it's true, he does. Because his production content that he puts out is like, dude, like I remember the first time he showed me, I was like, what? Oh yeah, this is something I did this thing. And I was like, oh yeah, no, this amazing song that you're letting me listen to, like you Laze, like oh, I made this thing. It's like, yeah, it's amazing. That thing that you made is really cool.
But there's a reason it's like that. Like that was the interesting part of like how I grew up, I guess. Like I had so many talented individuals around me that it made me feel like less on this level. Like they were great singers, they were great, you know what I'm saying, orchestrators, composers, or whatever. I just sat and watched everybody. Where these people were going to prestigious schools and learning under all these people, I just got to learn under them. So I got so used to being like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. To then they turn around and be like, who taught you that? Where did you learn this from? How did you get so good at this? How did you get good at writing? I watched y'all. Like I had so many people to pull from. It was just like, oh, let me try this. Oh, it didn't work. Let me try this. It didn't work. And so, like we said, we have so much stuff that you don't look at it like anybody else looks at it. To you, it's your baby. It's your like, yes, it may be good, but you'll never know how good it is unless you let somebody hear it. And then that's also the dichotomy of it. Like, I don't want people to hear it because I don't necessarily want to hear the negative feedback if it comes. And like he said, he's like, dude, like, I didn't even know you did this stuff. And it was like, oh, is it good? What do you mean? You know, I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, I just did it. Like, that was just something for me to have a reference point. So.
The only thing, I like the negative comments. Those are the gold mine. Those, because if you don't have those, that means you're not getting there. You
right.
gotta have them. And what they do, they make people comment. Like when somebody sees a negative comment, they're going to do one. They're going to try to come in with another negative one, or they're going to have people to try to, regardless of the fact it gets engagement, it gets more attention, the more comments. Because I was delete that. I was just too like I was going to like delete some of my stuff on there. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to delete. I'm not going to delete it. I want it there. I'm going to leave it. I will put a response to it, but I'm just going to leave it. And I'm going to tell you, man, it's got me more just saying, just do it.
Yeah.
That kind of handicaps you, locks you down because we can be so worried about what everybody's thinking. And really and truly, we're not doing it for what everybody's thinking. We're doing it for us. And it just kind of puts us for what, our task and what our mission statement is. You're going to have that no matter what, man. I try to embrace it full way. I encourage you. Say negative stuff. Say it, please. Come on with it. But then it's just like you get the most beautiful comments. They touch you. But I try to be neutral. Like the good ones don't mess with my head, and the bad ones don't mess with my head either. So they just kind of like look at comments and just a playing field, just neutral. Yes, I appreciate the bad. I appreciate the good ones, but the bad ones, thank you for those too.
I think I'm slowly getting there. And that's probably been with, like I told you, after I had my face surgery and then I lost my voice for that good bit of time, like that was when I was like, all right, I took for granted something that was probably a great asset that I should have been using. And then as it's been coming back, that was when I was like, okay, I don't care if people like it. Because I had a wonderful situation going on and I was just so scared to get the negative. You know what I'm saying? So now it's at that point now, like I told him, I was like, who cares? Like if they like it, they like it. If they don't, let's make it even better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
If you got anything to say to any like worship drummers, man, any like starting out drummers that are just like wanting to start maybe getting out and getting into like playing like that. Cause a lot of people come from the bars and then go to the churches, right? Y'all got anything to say about that?
I'll let you go first on this one.
Because a lot of people, I mean, it is a calling. It is a calling, but it's a different kind of calling.
Something unfortunately.
Calling and spiritual calling.
Yeah. No. I mean, I have unfortunately seen this a lot, which is I've played at churches that hire in musicians just for the sake of having good musicians, and that bugs me actually. They hire good musicians. So you go into a church and the band's like, dude, this band's killer. Like this band is so good. And then you get hanging out with the dudes. And I remember I was playing for a band and they were good, man. Like we were getting it. And I asked the dude, like, oh, what chord are we on? Is it the 4 or the 6 or whatever? And he was like, dude, I don't know, man. I'm just here because I get paid. And I was like, wow, that's really horrible. I hate that for you. Like, because I do. Like, I hate that that's all it is. Like, it was just music. I'm not trying to belittle music, but I'm saying, like, he wasn't there to, like, worship the Lord.
Yeah, it wasn't a worship experience.
It was another bar gig, man. Just minus the bar. So, like, that, unfortunately, really stinks. Like, because something that I like playing for my church is I'm up there, and I look around, man, and we're not just playing music, man. We are worshiping, and it is fun. Like, I'm having a good time. And I was telling Mac, I was like, that's where I connect most with the Lord. I'm like, God gave me this. Like, when David played the harp or whatever it was, he was probably, like, having a real good time for the Lord. Like,
I mean, he played out his clothes, didn't he?
Right. I mean, all right. So that's what I want to do. I just want to play. I want to enjoy, like, the Lord. I want to help others enjoy the Lord. And as a musician, like, and on a different note, I guess, like when you play at a church, I'm not trying to shred the congregation's face off, but I am trying to place really nice bits of, notes here and there to tastefully bring this whole thing together to make it sound really good. Mac talks about playing in the pocket. Like when you're playing drums, you find that pocket and you just ride that pocket, and it's tasteful and it brings things together. Just like the bass player is not trying to do his own little thing. He's looking at the foot. He's looking at your drummer's foot because him and the drummer's foot are one and they're thumping together. Like the guitarist comes in with a little ambient thing here and there. But it's no one's more important than the other person, and especially when it comes to a worship band. because you're coming together to set this like mood and space to create for like worship in the form of music. I think there's worship is very broad, but when it comes to music, like you are coming together to create a really cool space musically for people to join with you. It's not a show. I've been to churches where it's a show.
Yeah.
I don't
Feel it when you walk in.
dude, I've left churches like that. I'm like, I don't like this, man. This is a concert. I'm not here for a concert.
Right.
Like, I'm here to like worship God. So like it's really cool in the sense of like, drummers looking for, churches to play in. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe the bar is not for you at all. I don't think it's for me. Like, and I think I really serve the Lord and his people when I'm playing in church, and I'm like using the ability he gave me. And so I know we can go beyond that too, and we can use it for the Lord and the music industry, because the industry also needs the Lord. But we just find things like that to kind of dive into. But yeah, as far as church goes, man, it's a great place. Like if you're with people who are truly worshiping, like it can be so feeding for your soul. Like it can be so good for your musicianship, meeting other Christians who want to just worship and use their ability, the things they're really good at, to create a cool space. Like it's just fun. It's a lot of fun.
Coming up, I was more of a singer. I was always used for singing. I got thrown on the drums as kind of like that. All right, all our drummers are gone. He can keep the pocket at least. Put him on the drums. And I used to hate that because I'd be like, yo, I'm singing. Like, you want me to stop what I'm doing and get over there? Yep, go. And at my dad's church, it was just the thing. Like, everybody should be able to play the drums. My dad could get on the drums and play. So it was one of those things where I learned to be focused. I learned to really like engage with people that were musicians. And the cool thing was when I was growing up, there was no such thing as, like he was saying, like people just came in. It was just like they were hired guns, but they're at church. No, us, it was like no hired guns. We were learning together. It was truly a worship experience. Sometimes we didn't even play. There would be times where we would just hear mute or hear the singer sing, and we would disengage completely from the music. Like we would just stop playing and just sing. And when I was a kid, I never understood what that was. It was just one of those things. So to anybody that's like trying to be a drummer, going to church, and you're coming from the world, first and foremost, like make it about your worship with God. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it about trying to be the best or trying to be like this person or that person, because we'll never make it that way. Just focus primarily on your connection with God, and he'll handle the rest. Because there's been times I played at churches where people were like, oh, you're not going to play at that church. They got like the top tier musicians in the area, and I got to sit alongside with all of them just because I came in, I knew who I was in God, I knew what I wanted to do, and I just allowed that to be my piece to bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the super chopper. I'm not trying to be the groovologist over here. It was just it was just one of those things where it's just like, hey, look, I'm just here to play whatever you ask me to play, and do it for God. So I mean, it could be done. You know, I didn't have any formal training. I learned after the fact, but I have fun every time I play for church. And I 90% of the time don't ask to get paid.
Yeah.
Like 99 probably. 99%. I just want to play. So
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, man. I appreciate y'all coming out here and hanging out.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Of Outlaw Jams. Yes. You into that? Hey, I want to hear you sing something, man.
Yeah, let's go, Rev.
Oh man.
Bro,
Come on.
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. peace like a river in my soul. And he goes like this, so he does the, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul, in my soul. He always does that. Joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, got joy like a fountain in my soul.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah.
And this, like, how do you keep from not busting it? Because you would think the tension.
Yeah, dude, you can't bust sometimes. Yeah, I really like how low you can go with that Welch tuning right there. Like the lowest, because normally tension rods are falling out right about now.
Yeah.